euro, right? So we refer to the denominator currency always. If this rate goes up, so let's say it's 3, and it goes to 4, we refer that the euro has gone up, or in other words, has appreciated. So we always refer to the denominator currency. Yes?
Sorry, can you, if the yen goes from 3 to 4, wouldn't that make the euro go down? Because
yeah, so the price of 1 euro is now 4, so the price of 1 euro is higher. So
in
it is the
yen,
euro.
sorry, yeah.
Yes, so it is the euro that actually appreciates.
Mm-hmm.
It is the price of the euro in terms of something else. So it is the price of the euro that goes up. So now the euro is more expensive. So the euro appreciates. In this case, the euro trades at the forward discount, as you said, because the euro is actually expected to depreciate, so it is going down, and the forward market is priced such that the euro is going down. So now, in terms of the for premium or discount, how do we calculate it? So, for example, the 30-day maturity. So it's F minus S over S, right? Now S is the spot rate, 9T, right? Now F is the forward rate. It's not the future rate. So this is a time T, so we know it. It is a spot, today's rate for today, for outright spot transaction. The forward rate is a rate for maturity T plus 30, right? So it is for T plus 30. But it is not a future spot rate. So later, or we have already seen this, ST plus 1 is an expected future spot rate in the future. So often students confuse this with this. Right? So S is a forward rate in the forward market, according to forward contract and according to forward curve. S is simply just an expectation of the future, so whatever happens to be in T plus 1 or in T plus 30, so 30 days from now, of the spot rate at that time. So this is still a spot rate. It is not a forward rate. So the forward and the spot curves are different. Okay. And then we annual. I don't have. Does anyone have a tissue? By any chance?
No.
I have to get the. Okay. So then. Now, because we said that the forward rates come in different maturities, 30 days, 60 days, and so on, we may want to annualize it. And why this is useful? Because later on, when we introduce the relationship between these forward rates and the interest rates generally are quoted per annum, right? Annual. So how do we, does anyone remember what we have to do to this one?
Times it by 360 over the number of days.
Yeah, 360 divided by n, and this is n, the number of days that corresponds to this f. So in this case it is 30. So whenever you want to go from a period rate, right, so an n day rate to a per annum rate, the annum basically implies a bigger period of time. The end day rate is just a part of that annum, of that year, right? So whenever you go from an end day rate to a per annum, obviously you should obtain a bigger number because it is over for a bigger period of time. So that's how you can here we divide, and this fraction is obviously bigger than 1. So we want it this way. So that's why we multiply by 360 divided by n, and not the other way around. When we de-annualize, from an n day rate, we multiply by the opposite, by n over 360. Because this fraction is lower than 1, so we want to go from a bigger to a smaller. Yes? So for this topic, we would like to annualize things. And I think in today's lecture as well. So the lecture is the same actually. So this week I had some training, but we managed to fit, so the lecture stays the same. It was supposed to be at 6 p.m. tonight, which would have been late, so I think none of you would have come. So I put it back to 1. So in the lecture today, we're going to need this because we're going to look at interest rates, which are per annum. Okay, anyway, so what are we doing? So this is divided by 3. So here, the first one is so I'm just writing the rate. This is the forward rate at 30 days, and this one is the spot 146.3, right? Over spot. So this is like a percentage change, if you want, how the spot increases or decreases from period 2 to the forward market in 30 days. Okay, times, so this is the 30-day, 1,360 over 30. Now the numerator is negative.
And if it was a forward premium, it would be the other way around.
Positive. So we can do another example. Can you give me the number here? 4.5? 1%.
They would take it in the future.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If there was a
Okay,
forward premium, you would do the spot.
So it's
forward.
minus, so don't
No, it's
forget the
same.
minus. So this means that the denominator currency is trading at a forward discount, i.e. over the next 30 days it is expected to
Decrease.
decrease or depreciate. So we call it depreciation. We don't call it devaluation because that's something else. We will look at that in topic 5. So when it's just increasing and decreasing, so it's normal volatility or changes, we describe those changes as appreciation or depreciation. So now let's say that we had so this is ST, and let's say FT plus 90. I'm just now making one up. Okay, so ST is the spot rate today, right? F is a forward rate of the forward curve in the forward market 90 days from now. So we want to calculate the premium or a discount for this rate. What do we do? So same as before, it's F. It's always latest or new, right? It's like any percentage change. New versus old over old, right? So percentage change. So it's always the latest. So in the forward market we have 164 minus 157. So the premium or the discount is simply dictated by whatever we have at the numerator. So if this difference is positive or negative. And in this case it is positive. So we say that the euro is
Appreciated.
a positive. Yes, the euro goes for, so 1 euro is 157, and then it goes up to 164. So the price of the euro goes up. So it is the euro that goes up. So the euro appreciates. So the euro is expected to appreciate. So it is trading at the forward premium. Yes? Okay, so anyway, and this number could be something. It will be positive in a percentage term. Yes? Because, and why this is important? Because these are two different markets. So the spot market and the forward market. So for example, in the spot market, you can do something to the euro. Let's say you sell the euro in the spot market. And then in the forward market, let's say you buy the euro, right? So you can sell spot and buy forward. And why this is important? Because this will help us relate this movement to interest rates, which is interest rate parity, which we will do later today. So we will see how this premium or discount changes to equate or to balance out exactly the difference in the R's. R, big R is the interest rate. Anyway, for now, these are two different markets. So in the spot market, the euro is priced at something, right? And you can be selling it spot and buying it forward. So in the forward market, if more and more people buy the euro will go up or down. Yes, exactly. And in the spot market, if more and more people sell the euro will go down. They sell it. Yes. So later on when we do in the class, but I don't want to see, so the euro, if the euro is at the denominator in this, so it will go down in the spot market and up in the forward market. And overall this fraction will be going up. Right? So so then this will be going up just to equate exactly the interest rate differential. But for now, we have to think of them as two, well, which they are, two different markets, the spot market and the forward market. Oh, sorry. Can you see now? Yeah, so just the spot market, think of them as two different markets. The market for spot, just as we saw in the graph last week, is a market, and with the transactions and what the percentage was as a fraction of the total market, and then the forward market is another separate market. So you can be buying and selling in two different markets, and this is how they change. And that will be versus a different currency. So with the yen in our example. So if you sell a euro for yen, then a euro goes down and the yen goes up. And here is the opposite. So you buy euros and you sell yen, so yen goes down. But if euro is at the denominator, we were looking at that. Okay, so then the rest are the same. All of them are negative, which makes sense because the euro is trading at the forward discount, but it is expected to depreciate. Okay, so that's it with this. Any questions? Okay, we have a few. Now, has anyone done part A of question 2? So this asks us to look at the forward bid and ask at the 3-month maturity. And these are bid and ask points. So the 1 month, 2, 3, and 6 months are quoted as points, right? So the 3-month maturity is quoted as bid 75, ask 90. So what do we do with those numbers? Yes, so we're looking at the 3-month maturity. Do you have it in front of you? So the euro spot is 1.0435 and 1.0. Okay, this is the spot, and with the 3 months points, what do we do?
Add them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like /45. If you add 90, it becomes 158. 135. Like, you can't put that.
We add them, but why?
Because they're in ascending order.
Yeah, very good. So we would add 1.0435. Now, the quote is given as 75. So we add the 75, which corresponds with the last 2 decimal places. So that's 0.0075. Right? And what do we get?
0.51.
And then we came with the other. The 1.0. So 90. So it's the 90 that corresponds to the last 2 decimal places. Right? If the quote was bigger, but generally it's not, it's maximum 4, it would correspond to the last decimal places of that quote. Okay, and this is
0.535.
so that is bid and that is ask. And if you calculate the spread, we see that the bid ask spread, whatever it is here, then we calculate it, so that is for the spot market. And this is for the forward market at 3 months. So bid and ask. And we will see that they are actually, the bid and ask spread in the forward market is always higher, because we said that last time in the lecture. Yeah?
When we do a question like this, is it best to write out the full numbers? Because in like the denotation of the spot, it will do the decimal points with
Yes.
the 1, and then the second one it would just do slash the 2 that you need to change for the ask. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've written out 1.0425 to 1.0445, but in the question it would just say 1.0425
yes,
slash 45.
Yeah, I prefer it like that, the long way.
Okay, fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
But it's fine if you can,
But if you do it the short way, when you add 90 onto say the 45, it goes over 100. So I don't like you wouldn't write 135. I just don't know how you would denote it if you kept it the short way. I guess my question.
okay. So if you had it,
Yeah.
and if you want to write it like that, you will do. So if you still have to write it
Yeah.
again.
But then, so if you're adding 90 onto the 45,
Yeah.
what would that then look like in the denotation above?
So this spot will change to this forward. Do you mean this?
Yeah.
I see. So that would be 3-5.
Just 3-5, so you drop
Yeah.
the 1.
Yeah, because this is.
Yeah, okay, fine. And if they don't, so that only works, I guess, because the first one's also
The
gone
5
over
is the
5.
same.
If that's not the case,
Yeah, could be that it's much bigger, then you have to write the full code.
the full, okay,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
Okay. Now the others are all the same. Do we need one? No. B, yeah, B is a swap. Yeah, I thought it was a swap. I thought 3 was a swap, but no. So B, so we have to do B. Actually, before we do B, we can do C because it's quicker. So if someone calls you, a customer calls you and they want to buy pounds with dollars in 6 months, what price would you quote? So you are the bank and a customer calls you. They want to buy pounds, therefore, so in 6 months, so we look at the the USD GBP rate at that row, and it is in 6 months. So which rate would we? We say 6 months. So I've just written the bid and ask for spot, and we have the bid and ask for the forward 6 months. Okay. So we have to, do we add or do we subtract those points? Yes, very good. And what do we get?
That's 16713 and 16766.
So these are the bid and the ask. Yes. So now which so this is the pound. The pound is the denominator. The pound is at the denominator. And where is the coefficient? So what price would you quote if the customer wants to buy pounds?
The outbreak, because we would sell pound, that
Yeah.
would be that. So the 6 month forward outbreak.
Yes, very good. So in this case, we are the bank themselves. So we would quote them our ask because we are selling. We're selling, so it's the ask for the pound, and the pound is the denominator. Yeah. Clear?
Yeah.
So this one was very easy, and now B is a swap. So can you do the swap, and I will have a look.
Big price, it should be 1.6713.
Which one?
The big price. It should be 1.6743.
4-3. Okay. So yeah, 2 plus 2, 4, 7, 6. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, now for part B, you need to look at the quote of yen dollar. And you write out the spot, and also you have to calculate the 2 months rate. And then do a swap. So the yen dollar rate. So you just have to read the question. So it says swap out of 10 million. So you swap out. So, sorry, so we.
She does it the way we did it.
So we swap out of $10 million. This basically means that we sell. Sorry, did I tell you? So we sell $10 million. So that's the first leg of the swap. And in the second leg of the swap, we swap back into dollars. So swapping back into dollars means we buy it. So if we sell the dollar, the bank is doing what to the dollar? And the dollar is the denominator. Yeah, so the bank is buying. And if we buy dollars, the bank is so this is today's spot, the first leg, and the second leg is in 2 months. Okay? So what rate do we use here? If the quote is yen over dollar.
The bit.
Yeah, so bid or ask. Yes, bid. And here we use
Still not right.
ask. And why? Because the bank, so we always look at the bank's point of view. So we already decided we sell dollars, the bank buys dollars, therefore we use the bid rate for the dollar. Dollar is at the denominator. And that is the bid rate in the spot quote. Yes? And then the ask rate in the forward 2 months quote. So the quotes are so the bid 98.75 and the ask quote is 98.85 plus or minus. So we're looking at the 2 months now. So it's in descending order, so we subtract. Right, so what point do we subtract? Which of the two? The 20 or the 16?
16.
Yeah. So the ask quote is 98 point. So now the swap that in the first leg of the transaction, these $10 million, so you sell them, you sell the dollars, and that is the rate. So you sell dollars, or we rather, so we sell dollars, and we receive yen. So $10 million, how much yen do we receive? Do I multiply it or do I divide?
Multiply.
Yes, so we multiply because the dollar is at the denominator. So we receive this amount of yen. How much is it? Oh, I'm
987.
multiplying 98. And then the second leg, we so we swap back into dollars. So we buy dollars. So we buy the same amount, the notional amount, because this is the agreement. This is how the swap works. And we value it. So we buy back. So we buy the dollars, and we sell our yen. But the confusion, which is quite common, is that we don't use the amount of yen that we received previously. We use the 10 million or whatever number you have here. It's a notional amount. So the agreement is based on this notional amount. It's like a pen. We're just swapping it between two time periods. The pen is the same here and the pen is the same here. Yes? And we're evaluating the $10 million in terms of yen at 2 points in time. That is all. So it is the same one. So we can make a proper judgment. So 10 million so the second leg happens in 2 months' time. So we use the 2 months rate. We already decided which rate we use. We use the ask rate, which is 98. So now we get, what do we get here? 986.9. So in the first leg of the transaction, we sold dollars, we gave out dollars, and we received the yen. We received 987. Okay, now we buy dollars and we pay. So we buy our dollars back, and this is what we pay in yen. If you want to be less confusing. So we buy our dollars back, the same notional amount, the same pen, but now it seems we pay 986.9.
Miss.
Yeah. So this is the opposite to the example in the lecture. Yeah.
Sorry, but I thought for the second part we're using the ask because we're going from yen to dollars. So if you're now saying that we're going to be buying back our dollars, but you're using
Yeah. So we buy dollars, and the bank is selling the dollars.
yeah, but you're converting dollars by multiplying it by the yen. I guess, sorry, my question really is why don't we use the 9875 we calculated to convert it back into dollars?
Because this rate is a spot rate.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't use the same rate in the future.
Yeah, sorry, but we bought 10 million times 98.75 to get our 987. That,
So say again.
so I understand number one, how we get to the
Okay, so,
987.
yeah, number 2.
And in 2 months, we have that 987. Why don't we then convert that back? Why do we do? I don't get number
yes,
2.
exactly. So yeah, so that's the whole idea that so we receive this yen, and then we probably, let's say, invest it or do whatever with the yen. Then the agreement is that whenever the time elapses, in 2 months' time, we come back together and we're going to do the swap back based on the same notional amount, not on whatever you may have done with this money.
So the original 10.
Yes, so it's as if you're borrowing, let's say, a laptop or a car. You're just then giving back the car. It's the same car.
Okay.
Because the agreement is based on that car. So the agreement is based on that notional amount.
Yeah, but so then we buy back $10 million.
Exactly, the same amount.
At 986.
Yeah, so then we buy back our dollars at
So
the
we make
ask rate.
600,000.
This rate.
And then the profit is the difference.
Yeah, because we received more than what we paid, it seems.
Like 600,000.
Yeah.
Okay, how would you convert that back to dollars?
But then it's time.
Well, you don't have to. You can just take the difference between the two rates and multiply it on the notional. So you don't have to convert it to dollars because basically you swapped dollars, and what you gained is a bit of yen. You see, you can convert it to dollars back. You convert it probably at the latest rate. But the idea is not that. The idea is that basically you're doing this transaction, you're exchanging 10 million, so you're giving up dollars. So these are dollars. I'm giving up dollars and I'm getting yen. I'm going to, during this period, maybe I have a need for yen, or I think that the yen will give me something, or I invest in yen products with this yen. At the yen, I give the yen back and I take the same dollars back. I buy back the same notional amount. So we receive more yen than what we paid.
So is it?
So what does that mean?
It might be a stupid question, but is it the same as the money market hedge? Like,
Yeah, similar to this is what we will do.
okay.
Yes.
Because you're expected to put it into an investment that
Yes.
gives you the same interest as.
Exactly, yes. It
Okay.
is basically, a hedge on the interest rate,
Okay.
between spot and forward.
Makes sense.
So basically the idea is when we do lecture 3 is that this forward, this number just doesn't come out of the blue. Is priced such that the difference between these two equals the interest rate differential, because we know the interest rates. They're given, they don't change that much. So we know the interest rates, therefore we know the interest rate differential. Therefore this F will be based on that, such that the difference between this and this, so it's like F minus S. So we can call this X, so this is the amount we want to price, let's say, minus S divided by S. And the difference, what happens between period 1 and period 2 is the interest rate, right? Time is money. So it's the interest rate differential. So F will be priced off this.
And how far forward can you buy a forward rate? Like how
So
far
the forward,
in the future can you buy a forward rate?
you mean the maturity?
Yeah.
Up to 360 days.
Okay.
Yeah,
So just okay.
yeah,
Makes sense. Okay.
Will you upload solutions to your
yeah. Yes, I just made the visible the one from last week actually. I forgot to put it on Friday. Yeah, so we receive more than what we paid. So you can think of the other counterparty. So this is the opposite to the lecture example. The other counterparty will pay more than what they receive, right? And because they pay more than what they receive, it must be that with the currency they're using gives them a higher interest rate. So what is that currency that the other counterparty is using? Is the dollar, because we gave up the use of dollars. they are using the dollars for the 2 months, and that compensates them for the fact that they pay. So whatever the difference is here, 1 or 0.9, whatever, yen. So let's call it 1 million yen. So we receive on the net we receive 1 million yen for giving up dollars, and the other person, the other counterparty, pays, because if we receive, they pay. So they pay 1 million yen in effect for the use of dollars. Yeah. Okay, so the answers are in there. Don't worry about this too much. We will come back to it now in lecture 3 and in next week's tutorial. So we're going to revisit this again.